Welcome to Interior Design Diaries, where today I'm not going to be talking to anyone. You're going to learn a little bit about me and how Lulu Designs came to be. What makes me different as a designer is that I have been classically trained. I have a business degree and then I have an interior design degree. So I was always in my room, drawing, sketching, drawing the rooftops, drawing architecture. And I just knew I was creative at an early age, and trying to figure out the creative side of my brain and the business side of my brain was always kind of a challenge to figure out because I knew I wanted to go to business school, but I knew I was creative. And so interior design blends the two. Yes, I'm a creative. Yes, I'm a businesswoman. And those two married together really makes Lulu Design successful. So you did your due diligence, you talked to others, and you came to a point where you're like, we need a designer. Let's interview. And then here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how did you decide? Like, what was the...
On you or
Yeah.
a designer period?
Just because I want to know.
Yeah. No, we're totally
No.
going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, candid.
I think there's quite a few different things. I think you're just very transparent. You're welcoming. I appreciated that. And I know that this is probably really hard for you because a lot of people have a lot of ideas and they might change their minds halfway through or a quarter of the way through or any given time.
Yep.
But you really listened and asked questions and wanted to know, what we wanted from our space,
Right.
how we were going to live in it. And then if there were things that we were just hard stops on, you were like, that's cool. I'll make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't personal. You also, I felt good about working with you because you came from a place of abundance. And I remember John and I talking about that. You're no pressure to use me or not.
Yeah.
And I felt more comfortable with that because you did talk to someone else that we knew personally, and it was not that feeling.
Yeah.
So that was welcomed.
Yeah. You have to have that rapport with someone because I mean, I'm with you for months and you have to be able to want to be together throughout the whole journey and the process. And it's chemistry too. You have to feel okay, I've got you.
Yeah.
And that you feel comfortable every day because you're spending, you've put a massive amount of money into the house.
Yeah.
And you're about to, again, with the remodel. So you have to be, very, very, we have to be very well suited,
I think also just to add on one more thing that I was referred to you, right?
Yes.
By somebody I really trust.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of projects with you.
Yes. We just finished one for him. Mm-hmm.
And
several,
which I saw was great.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It was a little pad, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since done another one.
Yes.
But also we started talking more and more to our neighbors and our community and just people we know, and you have such a great reputation.
Oh, thank you.
And
that's
we got
so
to see
important
your
to me.
work too, which was really cool.
Right. And live in it.
Yeah.
Right? You stayed over there?
No, I didn't stay, but I just got to be a part of it. I got to see it. I got to walk through it. I was like, wow, this is really done to the level that I kind of meticulous on that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, it's
great.
not even a decision anymore. It's this is happening.
I'm working with you. Not only do I feel we got everything we wanted and more.
Yeah.
It all works really well together. It's very cohesive, warm space. You walk in, you're just like, I want to hang out here.
Yeah.
But you also were very mindful and, knew that we had a budget and what our budget was our budget. And you were just real. You're like, let's pump the brakes on that.
Yeah.
This is where we should focus.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we listened to you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's beautiful. The creative part of my job is the most satisfying and fulfilling. I need to be inspired. I need to feel respected by my clients. Those two things, my passion. I tell people I'm going to do this until the day that I die. I was called to create. This is truly my love, passion. It's what I do. I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
I think one of the things that drew me to you is that you're a mom too, and understood what a working kitchen is like when you have 3 kids.
Right.
And that it has to be functional, not just pretty.
Yeah. That's huge. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I haven't done the job.
Right.
Because it'll be pretty. That's what people say, like,
Yeah.
is this going to go? And I'm like, yes, it will. But the function part is so important because you need to be able to use it every day, multiple times a day,
Yeah.
better than before. I look at my relationship with my clients as the most important thing because I am learning things about them through my questionnaire that they may or may not have told their best friends of, decades. So I am intimately getting to know these clients in a way that will better their home. It will be better looking. It will have a better function. It's so important for me to get to know them, the ins and outs of them, their dynamic, and what they want. So all of my clients are my friends and they become part of my life. I become a part of their life. One of my clients the other day was like, I need dish towels. I got to call Lindsay. Like, I need dish towels. And then she's like, I almost stopped. What? I'm calling her for dish towels. She does whole houses. And it's like, I did your whole house. I'll get you some dish towels. Like, no big deal. Like, this is the kind of rapport that we have that I think is so meaningful for me, that I'm not just designing your house and I'm out to the next one. It might seem like that because I'm do in terms of like, I got to do this, and this. But in terms of the relationship with my client, it's extremely meaningful and very integral to the design. And I just love the people part and them calling me after years, or we moved, or we did this, or we have a second home and we need you now. And the trust that is gained through those relationships, it just gets better and better to the point where I am showing them furniture for a 5-bedroom house in 20 minutes. And they're just full trust, handle it. And they know that it's going to get done well, on time, and in their budget. So the client relationship is first and foremost and so important and essential for my success.
A critical differentiation for you, Lindsay, is that the fact that you do personally care.
Oh,
And
yeah.
my father always said, if you personally care, then you're going to give 110%. And I truly felt that throughout this entire process. And it still continues to this day.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully you'll stop by tomorrow as we're finishing our
punch list.
Punch list.
Yes.
And because we wanted some time,
Yeah.
just to be
and the house will settle. You'll get the cracks. You'll get the things.
Yes.
And you need to be able to live there and
totally
perfect over time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think is a difference with Lulu Designs, is that you guys take that personal touch and get to know the family and really understand how they want to live versus just, oh, it's coastal living. Let's just do this type of furniture. Let's do, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
If I'm getting at that correctly.
Yeah, no, that's what I call it.
Which was more, I want to understand how you live as a family and what your needs are, and then do it.
Yeah.
And design that way. And that was huge.
Yeah. And you're happy. You get exactly what you want. And I think I pushed you a couple of times.
Yeah.
I remember you saying, huh? Okay, well, what? You'd be like, wait, I need to hear this again. We had those conversations where I was like, okay, let's, push you out of your safety. But there was also times where you're like, nope, we're doing this. And it's like, okay, it's that two-way street where you get what you want, but I'm having it look like yours rather than something you can see anywhere else. For those of you wondering if you should hire an interior designer, I think the question to ask yourself is if you want your house to look a certain way and if you can or cannot do that. So it's a profession. It's an industry. You want to hire a designer to make your house your home. You don't have to have the education. I do. You don't have to figure out where the best place is to get tile for the look that you're wanting. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to go down the rabbit hole. Yes, there's great things that have come along, Pinterest, House, all of those things. But you're essentially learning a trade or learning how to do it yourself. It's a whole education. So hiring a designer, even if it's for furnishing a room, even if it's, or all the way to a whole house concept to completion, I call them. You're hiring a designer because you can't do it yourself. It's almost like if you don't do your taxes, you hire an accountant. If you need a lawyer, you hire a lawyer. I mean, that's essentially the sandbox that you're playing in. You're not doing it yourself. You're leaving it to the expert, and you're hiring her or him for that. Hiring a designer, if you're building a house, will actually end up saving you money and time and effort and all of the inconvenience. So at the beginning of the project, you were overwhelmed, didn't know what to do, didn't know what to do next, and how to do it in what time frame, right? It's like, what comes first? All of it was just one big like conundrum, right?
Yep.
Now that you've seen the design and we're underway, how are you wanting to feel in the space when it's done?
I'm just excited.
Yeah.
Because it's updated. Our house is early 2000s and they had this green granite that I've never liked.
Yeah, that was the other thing you said. I hate this granite. I hate this wall.
And the French wall. It has a little French country look to it. But
Yeah.
It's a beachy house, so it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it was driving me nuts. And so I'm really excited to have the new space, the new counters. Just really excited.
Yeah.
It's like moving into a new house,
Yeah.
but not
It's going to be like
without
Christmas.
the hassle.
Yeah. Without the hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I take that out for you.
Yes.
You don't even have to deal with it.
Nope.
I think we have we have our design days, right? So it's like, okay, go slab shopping. Okay, now we're going to go do this. Now we're going to go do that. So
But it's not even that much.
It's not.
No, because you literally sent me a plan and said, pick from this. And I picked. And
No,
as long as
that's
I
it.
liked it, I was happy. If I didn't like something, I'd say, I don't like that. And you'd fix it and change it. And that was it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
I like easy though.
I know. And I try to make it as easy as possible
Yeah.
because you don't have a lot of time.
No, but it'd be good to go away for 3 months and come back and my kitchen be done.
Press that button,
Right?
Wave that
the
wand.
easy button.
right? Where is that easy button?
I don't think you could make it any easier though.
Oh, well, thank you.
Come.
That means a lot.
One of the things that was so impressive, and I don't think I realized it until really later down the road, is that you weren't just the designer. I mean, you were filling the contract, GC shoes, and you had an incredible team.
The project management.
Yes.
That's a huge component to
Yes.
it. Yeah.
And
I mean, I was at your house like every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
hi,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Hi, I know.
How's your
I
day?
know. I know. And yeah, I mean, I think just, I think at the time, certainly now, I think I took that for granted. How much we got with you and how much knowledge you had. You weren't just a designer coming in and, picking out some pretty wallpaper and pillows and things like that. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
You really, thought through the process and knew what you were doing. I would say to anybody looking to hire someone, you're not getting just, design. You're not just getting a mood board. You're getting somebody tried and true who has been in the industry for a long time, who knows, what you're doing. And, if there was ever a mistake or something that you made, I mean, you owned it and you fixed it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh yeah. Oh,
Oh
and
yeah.
like
We're fixed
quick
this. Or
backtrack and
Yep.
like recircle, regroup. And even, I mean, we made changes along the way. And like, I think, you handled that with so much grace. And I can't thank you enough for that. And I know
I mean, at
it
the end of
must
the
happen
day,
all the time.
you got to get what you want, and I just,
Yes.
but I've got to tell you, hey, if you do this, then this. And then it's like, oh, okay, because I have that experience, I could say,
Yes.
okay, Amy, totally, I see it, but like, what about this? And then it's
Yes.
like, like, okay, let's
Yes.
figure out like what to do to get you to what it is that you're wanting. What's coming for Lulu Designs? So I have thought about this podcast actually for years, and I was just too gun shy. I had to do all the other things, right? So now I've taken the time in my audit essentially of where I want to be and who I am moving forward. And I'm going to do the things that I've always thought about doing and been maybe like making excuses to not do. So the podcast I really want to keep doing, whether, me and my mom are the only two listening or not. And I want to bring the stories of my designs to the people because I do believe that that is the niche that I have. Everyone says niche down. Well, mine is to truly cater to my client, not my portfolio. I'm actually going to be very, very intentional about the clients that I take. Just like I figured out who I needed to hire, now I'm going to be very strong about who I am going to be working for. It is quality of life, it's work-life balance, it's all of those things. My overall mindset too. When you're designing a house, you give and you give and you give. I mean, your heart is outside of your body in the, flesh of a house, really. And so everything's out there for all to see. And I don't want to be working just to work anymore. I want to be working for people who respect and have the vision and collaborate and share the vision with me so their needs and wants can come to life. So I'm going to be a lot more intentional about who I work with for so many different reasons, as well as doing the work I want to do. Because when I look at my portfolio, the work that I love to see is the work where I felt the most grounded and respected. So those are the clients that I'm looking for in the future. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to find more about me or my services, check out my website at luludesigns.com.